Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Catwoman. Rawr! Dark End of the Street. Don't worry, I'll never do that again. Never. Anyways, take a look at this comic cover right here. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've been picking up a lot of Catwoman lately. I've been buying a couple of trades, especially seeing my comic book store was having a 50% off sale on like 200 DC trades that they got in. And a lot of them were Catwoman, so I picked them up. Now, there's two reasons why I've been picking up a lot of Catwoman. One is because, well, I always like to add to my Batman family comics. See, I always find it intriguing that the Batman universe and all of its supporting titles are its own self-contained universe in the DC universe. I mean, just think of all the titles that you have in there. I'll list some of them. Not all of them, just some of them. Batman, Robin, Nightwing, Catwoman, Batgirl, Birds of Prey, Outsiders, Azrael, Gotham Street, Gotham Central. I mean, you got all these different Batman titles working in there. That's just to name a few. So Batman is his own self-contained universe, and I just like adding to it. Because, well, I love the Batman universe. I think it's awesome. Second reason is, well, I love Catwoman. I think Catwoman is just such an intriguing and unique character in the Batman universe and also in comics with DC. Because, see, in the Batman universe, Selina Kyle, Catwoman, is the purest gray area character of them all. She is a pure neutral character. Because, see, Catwoman is neither hero nor villain, while at the same time being a hero or villain. She's neither good nor bad, not evil, not saint. She is this unique character that goes by her own rules, has her own standards and morals. She will never go into the superhero likes that is Batman and Superman, but at the same time she'll never cross the line like, say, some of the villains, Joker or Two-Face. She is her own neutral character, and that's a unique thing to see because, while you do have characters like Batman and Robin and Nightwing who work outside the law, they are at least working for the law, just outside it. Catwoman is doing her own thing. Which is why in this review I want to talk a bit about Catwoman and about her second ongoing series, which is where I'm going to start my Catwoman reviews. Now, I could have started my Catwoman reviews at anywhere. I was actually going to start with When in Rome because I just recently read that. However, I felt as though it would be best to do her ongoing second series because, well, from what I've read so far, it's absolutely fantastic. It really is good. So in this review, I'm not going to talk so much about the story, but rather about what to expect from future Catwoman reviews and also the Catwoman ongoing series. Now, I am going to review some Catwoman stuff. I don't know how much, but I do want to show you guys how good this series can be. It's like a little gem, and not many people give credit for what it is. Because, well, I mean, it's Catwoman. She's like a B-ranked character at best. But sometimes in the B-ranked characters and lower, you get some fantastic stories. So with that said, let's talk about this graphic novel and about the ongoing Catwoman series. Now, this graphic novel starts off the second ongoing Catwoman series, and it lays down the foundation for that series, more than anything else. The themes, the tones, the characters, and exactly the setting. Now, Catwoman was born and raised in the East End of Gotham, so she returns back to there to do some soul-searching. At the same time, Slam Bradley is trying to find what happened to Selina Kyle. Now, he's an important supporting character, at least in her first few trades, because, well, he helps her out a lot with detective work and also with some of the bad people that she has to deal with. In addition to that, she comes across her old friend, Holly, and brings her back into the fold. Again, another important supporting character. She also meets up with Leslie Tompkins every once in a while and gets some advice and help from her. Catwoman finds that she needs to make a change in her life. Being Catwoman herself isn't just as rewarding as it used to be. She needs to change what she is. See, before this, Catwoman's gone through a lot of shit and was actually declared dead for quite a while. Yeah, she was actually buried and considered dead. Not her, another boss. It's confusing. Anyways, she went through a lot of shit before this. So she's trying to find her way in the world and find her place. She can't live amongst the ranks of Batman and Superman because, well, they have their own set moral values and they do their own things. But she can't go back to her life of being a criminal because it's just not rewarding. It's not satisfying. Catwoman turns out to be a dark avenger for, well, basically the lowlives of Gotham, for lack of a better term. She's there to watch out for the thieves, the prostitutes, and the misfortunates that just don't have that guardian. It's not that Batman doesn't care about, say, the prostitutes of Gotham or the thieves or whatever. Batman cares about everyone, but they're not high up on his list. See, in Batman's perspective, these prostitutes chose to do what they do. They chose the life. But see, Catwoman understands what it means to be at the bottom of the totem pole, and being at the bottom in just the absolute crappiest part of your life, and having to do whatever you can to live. So she is to look out for these people, to be their dark guardian, and to be the protector of the East End, which becomes pretty much a basic theme for Catwoman, is being the protector of the people that usually don't get the protection. She doesn't protect bad people. In this, we do get a sense that Catwoman is a good person. She just does things by her own moral standards. And it's kind of unique because when you go through reading this, Catwoman struggles with becoming a good person. It's not because she's not a good person. She is. She just doesn't know how to be. I mean, she lived a life of crime for such a long time, turning into this vigilante, this avenger, this champion for the oppressed. It's hard because it's something that she doesn't know how to do. It doesn't come to her as second nature like Batman. So she is a good person, but she just doesn't know how to be. And she goes through a lot of evolutions through this process of going from former ex-con into this champion for good. And Batman does show up to give his blessing. But like I said before, Catwoman doesn't rely on the other Bat family. Her stories are really self-contained in her own comics. Batman, so far, and I've read the first few trades, only shows up about once or twice. And if that, only for a few panels. He is only really there to give her his blessing and to give a little more support. The only recurring Batman character is Leslie Tompkins, and that's about it. So that's the basic foundation for the ongoing Catwoman series. The unique thing about the Catwoman series is it doesn't deal with supervillains and crazy superhero stuff. It goes back to basics, which is something that I like. I love the superhero aspect of Batman. Don't get me wrong, I love the going and working with the Justice League and taking on supervillains. It's one of the aspects of Batman I really love. But at the same time, I like the good old-fashioned Batman that goes out against crime lords and mobsters and gangsters. You know, doing classic detective work. That's why I like some of his earlier work a lot, because it goes back to that. Don't get me wrong, I love the superhero Batman, but I love the criminal-busting detective Batman just as much, too. The great thing about Catwoman is she goes back to that. She doesn't fight any supervillains or threats to the world. She takes on crooked cops, gangsters, mobsters, thieves, and just flat-out lowlights in her mission. So it's nice to get back to that good old-fashioned theme, that nice little cozy area of the Batman universe that really is very realistic and very gritty too, because this has a very gritty feel to the book. You gotta understand that the East End of Gotham is basically the ghettos of the Gotham. That's how bad it is. So this does have a gritty feel of the book. So let's just talk about the art a bit. The art is done by, I believe, Darwin Cook, if that's his name. I was a little skeptical about his art at first because his art is a little weird. It's very cartoony. However, his art grows on you, and with the exception of Catwoman actually in her costume, his art is, well, very, what's the word? It's good. I guess that's the best word to say. His art really defines the Catwoman universe very nicely. Catwoman looks a little awkward in her costume, kind of like bugger-eyed, but when she's out as Selina, or when you see Slam Bradley, or Holly, or all the other characters, they look good. They're drawn very nicely. And even though it's kind of a cartoonish art, it's still good art. So, the art in this, I have to say, is nice. On the whole, this is a good start for the Catwoman series. There's no particular story in this. This is really just laying down the foundation. If I had to give a rating on this, I would give it a solid B. Again, this is really just laying down the foundation for Catwoman and setting up stuff for Volume 3, 4, 2, and other Catwoman stuff. So, do I recommend picking it up? I do recommend picking it up. I recommend if you pick this up, though, to continue on up until at least Volume 3 of the Catwoman series. That's the very least. Again, this is laying down the foundation, so you're going to get exactly that. You're not going to get an absolute fantastic, phenomenal story, just a good start to a good series. So the Catwoman Dark End of the Street, if you're looking for a little Catwoman in your life, if you're looking for that grittiness and that fighting monsters and gangsters and drug dealers and all those crooked cops, then this is a good place to go, because Catwoman, whether you're a guy or a girl, whether you like superheroes or not, whether you're something or another, you can enjoy Catwoman. It's a worthwhile investment. This is Andrew saying, peace out for now.